Hello everyone, it is Susan here from Susan Hiles Art and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be working on the potted plants for the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 3 project that is going on. And yeah, I was just kind of taking a step back and looking at my whole snippet roll. And sometimes we get so engrossed in what we're doing and we just focus on like little pieces of something and we don't appreciate the whole thing that we're working on. And so I kind of took a step back and I'm like, well, I'm really liking where this is going. Still to me, this flower right here is definitely big for sure. But I'll probably leave it. Maybe I'll add some smaller flowers there. I'll see as the prompts come along, right? But as I look at this, there's my little shed. This right here, this is all my path, my garden path. Here's my door. I have flowers. Here's a potted plant. Here's my harvest table, and we're going to do another potted plant here in this video. And then I did go ahead and sew this down. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to trim this off. But just looking at it, it's my typical style of, I think in this case, I would call this whimsical. It is very whimsical. The people that have embroidered for years, well, I'm just turning this over so I can trim the lace. They do exquisite work, literally exquisite work. And as much as I would love to have that talent, and not that I can't, I'm not saying that I'm not able to, it's just, I guess I go more for the whimsical and that kind of thing, and the most of you know that, right? And that's fine too. It's different, right? Thank goodness we have different goals and aspirations and ways of doing things, and what looks good visually to us can be very different from one person to the next. And it doesn't mean that you don't appreciate what others do, because, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, there's so many talented people in the Facebook group for this project. And, oh, it just amazes me what people are doing. Now, with that being said, that's not my goal. My goal is just to make something fun and happy that makes me smile, that kind of thing. So now we've trimmed this, so this is all sewn on. I had to add another piece to my snippet roll, and so I sewed them together under this piece of lace, and then I put more of a path down, sewed that down, and we're good to go. So this is the first potted plant that I put down. I did end up putting a little bit of grass around it. My pot is a little crooked, but that's okay. And now today we're going to work on this potted plant over here. And I think I'll zoom in just a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to sew down this potted plant, which is a chenille. Chenille? No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, chenille fabric. And then I'm going to use these 3 little yo-yos for the flowers, and we'll go on and we'll put some stems. So that's what we're going to do. So I think the first thing, let's just go ahead and sew this down. Now, when I was sewing this, I knew that it was not going to be straight. And the reason being is because I was doing this in my living room and I didn't have any pins with me. So this fabric was just going wherever. And as much as I tried to keep it as straight as possible, it definitely did, move. And so I'm hoping that this does come out a little bit straighter. It doesn't have to be straight. I just want it to look maybe a little bit straighter. So I'm using my pearl size 8 thread in a color that really matches this this pot really well. And I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do the overcast stitch. That is what I hear Rachel call it, and possibly Sarah does as well, but I often hear Rachel talk about the overcast stitch. And so it's just about literally going over the edge of what you're sewing on and doing a stitch so that there's a stitch around the whole edge of the piece. And I did the same thing with this up here. I did the same thing, and it's a fairly quick stitch and easy. And I mean, you could do this stitch with a contrasting color thread, but in this case, for both of these pots, I decided to do thread that basically matched. So I'm just looking at it just to make sure it's still looking okay. And let's get this down. And I have my cup of coffee here with me today. And yeah, so I'm loving that, and I'm loving it extra special today because it is snowing out. It is, well, it's Tuesday, so, and this video goes out Wednesday, so it's yesterday it was snowing for those of you watching this video. And I live in New Jersey. It's not like it's a super pretty snow. I mean, I love the look of snow, but this particular snow is more of a wet snow. And with wet snow, you get ice, and I don't like that at all. And I have some sort of a knot going on here. I don't know. I mean, for those of you that watch my videos every week, do you ever see a video where something doesn't go wrong? Of mine. It's like, it's just constant. What can I say? So what else is going on? Oh, so today, well, tomorrow, the day that this goes out, this video, is the day where Rachel and Sarah will announce the second prompt for March. And that's always a good day. I really enjoy that, because then what I get to do is, once I know what the prompt is, then my mind gets going, and I get to pick out fabric, and I get to decide what I'm going to do, because the majority of the prompts I have never done before. So, yep. And it's not too often that I don't do all of their prompts. I do remember with the last one, the Christmas one, it was what do you call it? The soldier. I can't think of the name of it, but I couldn't, I couldn't, I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything for that prompt. So yeah, so I didn't do it. But that's very rare for me not to do their prompts. because I love them and I learn so much because they're not things that I would normally do. Yep. So, all right. So now, here's our little pot for our plant, and it doesn't look too crooked. It looks fairly decent, fairly good. So that's good. And let's go ahead and we'll sew down the yo-yos first. And I'm just kind of thinking, I think what I want to do is put the yo-yos basically like that and then sew them down. And all I'm going to do is a French knot in the middle of each of these. So I think I want thread that's, I don't know, I'm thinking really maybe something that will show a lot, like this right here. This is some really heavy yarn. And I think what I'll do, I don't know that I can do all three with this, so I might end up with one of them being a little different, but I might not. So let's see. So I'm just going to go up through the middle. I probably can get away with, I'll do 3 times around the needle and then go back down, holding that yarn so it doesn't move up on the top. I can't pull this through. It won't pull through for me. Yeah, I think just messed this up. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Because I obviously am not holding the yarn anymore like I should be. But you know what? It somehow worked. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. It worked. It worked. So now I could tie that off, or I could just do the next yo-yo. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do the next yo-yo, which is right here. And let's go ahead and we'll do the same thing. Wow. You know what? This heavy thread, our yarn is very difficult to pull through. And then go down, try to pull it all the way through without letting go of the yarn on the other side. All right, there we go. Did that one. That one worked. You know, it is difficult, I must say, working on, oops, I just pulled this out, working on a long snippet roll. Like when you're actually sewing onto it and you're not doing things like in order, and it's just, yeah, it gets a little hard to handle, but definitely doable. All right, so let's see. And this will be the last one, and then we'll do a little bit of, well, it's either going to be the split stitch or the back stitch to do the, wow, this is getting short, this yarn, this piece of yarn. It is getting, yeah, it's getting hard to work with this. But we'll go ahead and we'll do the, oh, wow, okay. We'll go ahead and we'll do the, I know I'm like repeating myself like constantly. Yeah, we'll do the stems. So I'm just gonna do a little knot here. This is so short at this point that it's not gonna be easy, but okay. And we'll cut that off. All right, good. So that worked out well. It was a little hard to pull that through, but it did definitely work out well. So now we have our 3 little flowers and we have our flower pot. And now I have different thicknesses of yarn. I have this one, I have this one, and this one's a little darker than that. And then I have just a real, I have the pearl thread, but I don't think I'm going to use the pearl thread. I think since I already have this on a needle, let's go ahead and start with this. And if there's not enough, then I can switch to the darker green, and that will be fine. So I think I want to do is basically come up from the middle for all three of these, or close to the middle. It doesn't have to be exact. And we'll just kind of do, let's see what we're going to do. I think I'll just do the back stitch. And so that's going to be rather easy. And let's see, so if I have that, oh, that kind of looks cute. I am going to tie this off though, not this off. And we'll work on the next one. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have enough for all three. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the other one over here, and then the middle one I'll leave for the dark yarn. And basically start in the middle, go up, and you can make your stems perfectly straight, or you can make them where they have a little bit of a curve to them, right? Easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay, so now we have two done. It's that easy. It's nice to have something work easily, since I tend to mess so much stuff up. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to leave this, like I could pull, maybe I'll pull one strand off of this so it's not as thick. I might end up even pulling another one off, but let's see. So this is 3 strands. I think I'll try this. Let's give it a try and see. No, you know what? Is it 3 or 2? No, there's only 2 on here. Okay. I thought this was a 4-strand piece of yarn, but doesn't look like it. All right. So we're just going to do the same thing. We'll come up from the middle. And I don't think I'm going to have to put any leaves on these. Because I don't think that there's enough room for leaves. And yeah, so all I'm doing is as I go up with another stitch, I come back to the stitch right before it, and that's the back stitch. And what it does is it makes a really nice line for a stem or anything else that you need a nice solid line for. And the split stitch does the same thing. It just gives a little bit more, I'd say, interest, because this stem kind of tends to widen out a little bit and just has a little bit more interest. All right. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? All right, let me go ahead and knot this off. And I think we're done with the prompt of the flower pots, plural, and the flowers. Oh, I think that looks cute. Now, see, that's one thing I really like about doing this style of a project is, even though you can have the same prompt, right? I mean, and just think, everybody's going to do it different, right? But like, so I have this one flower pot, which is totally different than the look of this flower pot. So I like that. I love how different they can look, even though it's the same prompt. But anyway, so that's it for me for today. So I will see you next Wednesday with the second prompt for March. And please check out Rachel and Sarah's YouTube channels. Their links are below. And I will see you next Wednesday. And Monday I'll be back for my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video that I put out every Monday. All right, God bless everybody. Bye-bye.